Hey, welcome back to the channel. So in this episode, we're going to talk about SANDER. And wow, like I cannot begin to talk how good he is. Like if you do want me to rank every single epic esper in the game and which one do I recommend to prioritize first, he is gonna be the third best epic esper in this game. The first one gonna be Jiangman. Like if you do want to talk about priority, max Jiangman first, and then the second one is gonna be Chloe, and then the third one is gonna be Sander. That's how good he is, and he is gonna be like he is the oldest speedster in the game. Like before we got this many legendary Esper, like the only Esper that can make use of their speed stats to become attack damage is only Sander. So that's how he became the first speedster in this game. While nowadays we have Li Guang, we have Parmi, we also have any other legendary Esper that can make use of speed into becoming their damage. But still, Sander still on the spotlight here. Like he is still being used in many PvE content throughout the game because he is just that good. And let's take a look at his skill on why he is that good. So the first skill attacks one enemy, damage 70% attack. Its speed grants extra damage, and extra damage is 0.33% attack. So because he is a speedster, like if you reach endgame using Sander, like if you already reached the endgame here, your stats from the equipment gonna look a little bit similar to mine. Like there is no question here that because he make use of his speed stats as a damage, giving him a wind set will increase his damage the most. Because if you want to compare, like rather than just increasing his attack bonus in here or his critical damage, it is much better to increase his speed, because on top of giving him more damage, he also rotates much faster. So by the time any other DPS Esper deal damage once to the enemy, Sander will already be able to move twice or 3 times while dealing the same damage as those other DPS Esper. That's how good giving speed to Sander is. Hence why, if you do want to try building Sander, focus on the speed stats more compared to your attack and your critical damage there. So mine here sitting at 150 bonus speed, so I'm able to still get 2000 bonus attack there and 160% bonus critical damage there, while still giving him some accuracy. And this is the most important thing, because Sander is not a fighter. Even though he deals insane amount of damage, he is a controller. Now, why would the developer consider him as a controller? Because his first skill reduces the enemy's AP by 30%, his second skill inflicts speed down to his target, and the third ability inflict AP minus 60% to the enemy. This 60% is insanely high. This is OP, because any other Esper who can reduce the enemy's AP usually only reduce the enemy's AP by 30%. Even though if you do want to think about it, like this is AoE damage, so obviously 30% AP reduction is to the entire enemy lineup, while Sander is focused more solely on single target damage. But because he focused solely on single target damage, the thing that he kills the most, the best, is a boss fight. When it is a boss fight, having a Sander in your lineup will prevent the boss to move because of his combination of AP reduction and also speed down. Hence why he is considered a controller in this game. His ability to control a single enemy so that that enemy will never move at all is insanely good. And on top of that, he is able to stun that enemy with both second and third ability inflicting stun. So yeah, in a single target DPS fight, nothing can beat Sander. He is able to deal damage while also control the enemy throughout the battle. So let's take a look at the number here. So this is how you calculate the Sander's damage. So its speed grants extra damage, and its speed gives him 0.33% bonus attack there. And this only considers the bonus speed number that you have from your equipment. So if you give him 0 speed, this will not give you any bonus at all. But if you have 150 speed like mine here, that means that 150 times 3 there equals like around 45 or 50% bonus attack more. So your basic damage here is 70% attack. That means that 70 plus 50 equals 120% attack bonus, like attack damage. So this is a basic ability number. Like any other DPS Esper will have 120% damage on their basic ability. But like I said, while on top of giving you damage using his speed, he is able to move twice or 3 times faster than any other DPS. Hence why giving him the speed equals more DPS compared to giving him attack bonus and critical damage in Sander's case. And 75% chance of inflicting AP minus 30% is still quite an okay number. This is a 50-50 chance of inflicting the AP down. So yeah, going to the second ability, attacks one enemy damage 180% attack. Its speed grants extra damage, the same one 0.33% attack. So again, 150 bonus speed will give this a bonus 50% attack. So the damage here will go up to a total of 230% attack damage. So that is already considered a really good single target second ability damage, 230%. Like I said, like the benchmark for the third ability is 270%, and the benchmark for the second ability for a single target high damage is around 200% or 230%. So 230% is considered a high-end single target damage for a second ability. While on top of having 100% chance of inflicting speed down and 50% chance of inflicting stun, and upon a crit gain speed up for 2 turns. This is where Sander is insanely strong compared to any other single target DPS Esper. Like even Brian lose to him. Why? Because any other DPS Esper will only get a bonus damage increase from attack up buff. But for Sander, he is able to increase his damage from attack up buff and also speed up buff. So as per like Sienna, who is able to give both buff in here, will be able to increase Sander's damage by 3 times more because of the 40% bonus attack and 30% bonus speed there will both increase Sander's damage on all of his skill. And that's how good Sander is, compared to any other single target DPS Esper. Hence why, if you see in, ranking, like leaderboards and everything, like Sander is still pretty much being used in almost every single PvE content, except for those players who have like a ton of legendary Esper to choose from. Like Sander still dominates the PvE content by a lot. So going to the third skill, attacks one enemy, damage 180% attack, its speed grants a 1% attack bonus. So 150 here equals 150 attack percent attack bonus there. So 150 plus 180% equals 330% attack damage. So it is higher than Brian, the one Esper that we use as our high-end benchmark. So 330% attack damage coming from Sander's third skill. It is a very hard-hitting single target ability damage. On top of that, he is also have 100% chance of inflicting AP minus 60% and 100% chance of inflicting stun. Obviously, this still gets affected by your accuracy and the enemy's resists. Hence why you do want to give him at least a certain amount of accuracy to be able to make use of all of this control ability. And then On top of that, his skills are also both having 3 turns cooldown. So he is able to rotate his skill really fast. And also because of his equipment giving him a lot of speed there, you will see in every single content where there is Sander, he will be able to attack a lot of times, like really fast. And that is not yet the best part about Sander. The best part is on his captain ability in here. His captain ability gives his allies 25% bonus speed on PvE content. And this, for Sander's case, translates into even more DPS. So all of this skill will get even more higher damage coming from his captain ability, even though this increases his speed. And this speed also will keep increasing his rotation even further. So it's a multiply of a lot of bonus damage increase coming from attack up, speed up, everything, capability, etc. for Sander. Hence why if you do have Sander like advancement here, I do recommend you to just get him to level 60 as fast as possible, because he is insanely good in every single content in the game, whether it's gonna be boss fight, whether it's gonna be Dislyte Land, Ritual Miracle. For Ritual Miracle, obviously you're gonna make use of the elemental advantage and disadvantage, because if you are at a disadvantage, obviously you're gonna miss a lot of time. That is like probably Sander's weakness there. He doesn't have any way of preventing himself from attacking a miss to his enemy. But for any other content like boss fights, all of the bosses out there are of similar element, so he won't get any penalty from his elemental inferno here. But he is also really good in infinite tower, in temporal tower. On boss fights in infinite tower, like the bosses cannot be stunned, but they can be inflicted by AP down. Hence why Sander is still pretty much the best expert in order to kill bosses and also not only bosses. Like if you do need to kill the enemy, like annoying enemy as fast as possible, like if you find Hyde is the most annoying esper to deal with because he cannot be inflicted by debuff. But against Sander, he is able to kill Hyde in a single hit from his third ability because of how high the damage is from his third ability here. So Hyde without any buff will die from the third skill, and then on the next turn he will be able to finish the job using his second ability. And bye Hyde. Even though we already have Brewster, like another best candidate for killing Hyde, but he relies on his allies triggering the reload attack here to hit Hyde multiple times within a single wave. But that also means that Hyde will be able to trigger his Avatara a lot of times, which gonna help him into killing you first or heal back his HP using his Nether Set. So Sander still a really strong single target assassin, I will say, because of his nature of killing like a single target really fast. Also because of his speed here, obviously he's gonna be the first DPS esper to move to deal damage to any of your enemies. So yeah, going and looking at his resonance here, we've already seen the 6th resonance, giving a chance to stun using his second ability. The second resonance, when any ally is currently not alive, speed plus 25. This also translates into more damage, more faster rotation. And then the 4th resonance, when an elemental advantage damage plus 12%. Like I said, in the Ritual Miracle, you do want to emphasize his elemental advantage, so this also gonna maximize his damage output. And also in Dislyte Lands, you will see that Sander is being used a lot because of his captain ability there, and also his single target damage against boss. And even in PvP, you can still get his rival rune correctly here. This is a really good recommendation for Sander. The wind set is obvious, like there's no other equipment that is best suited for Sander. And then the Avatara, because his basic ability hits quite a lot, so he gonna be able to punish his enemy when the enemy try to hit him. Although the AP reduction won't affect the enemy that is currently in turn, but the damage will surely be able to kill, like, most of the squeezy DPS out there. So if you do want to make use of him, I do recommend to pair him together with Li Guang. Like, they both will be able to clean up the enemy, even though you have 5 enemies, but they both will be able to clean them up one by one really, really fast. And then going into the Ascension here, his Ascension is also insanely good, except for the second Ascension here. I do prefer to give him like HP in here. And the third one is the one that inflicts stun. And then the fourth one gives him critical rate and then attack bonus here, and then speed. And this also again translates into a more DPS for Sander. And he also have a really nice basic speed stats here, 104. So he will definitely be able to, like, sometimes move faster than even the support Esper out there. Now his Divinate also, when the battle speed is above the target's corrosion final damage plus 15%. And this will happen a lot because there are not many Esper that is faster than Sander, except for all of those Esper that needs to move fast, like Tolan, like, the one that needs to move first, like TA, all those Esper. They're gonna be able to move faster than Sander, but all of the enemy's DPS Esper will definitely be slower than Sander, obviously. So yeah, that's how good Sander is. And I'm gonna go to the VR Battleground to show you how much damage Sander actually able to deal. So as usual, if we think about Brine will be able to deal 40,000 damage using her third ability. Now we're gonna take a look at Sander's third ability. 43,000 damage, 3,000 higher than Brine's benchmark damage, and that is as expected, because we've already calculated this as 330% attack damage, 30% higher than Brine, which is exactly correct, like 10% higher than the 300% attack of Brine's damage. So that is how insanely strong Sander is. And look at that, his rotation is really, really fast because of his speed there. All of his speed translates into making him hit more. So compared to Brine, like, there will be, if you think about it, like, by the time Brine moves twice, Sander will already move 3 times. So he is in, if you think about a total DPS, like in a statistic after the battle is finished, Sander is going to definitely deal higher damage than Brine. That's how you make use of a speedster Esper in this game. So yeah, that is Sander. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Hope you guys learn a lot in this episode. So yeah, bye bye.